bad boy. I think it said 4 days ago.
Versus Bardock,
The ostracized Viltrumite and the doomed Saiyan.
he's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death
The
battle.
Dragon Ball Z mods are gonna go crazy. I bet you Omni-Man's out within the
Omni-Man,
week.
Earth's once greatest hero. Alongside the Guardians of the Globe, he protected the world from all manner of threats. And then, in a single day, it all went horribly wrong.
Why, Omni-Man?
Epic rap
How,
battles of
Omni-Man?
history.
Who, Omni-Man?
Who indeed? Champion of Earth,
Yo, Omni-Man-
best-selling author J.K.
Omni-Man was a
Simmons,
great fucking
and it was
turnaround of
all
a character.
charade. With his murderous rampage,
Oh, you've never seen this, dude?
Thanks to his
Invincible
own
is
son.
sick.
It
You,
all
you
starts
should
with
definitely
his
watch it. I
whole
think there's
planet,
2 seasons
Viltrum,
out.
which I hear is a totally lovely utopia.
Through brutal mortal combat.
With a K! Or, wait, no, that came later.
Viltrumites are among the most powerful beings in the universe, even more so after they purged.
Yeah,
the
I've heard of
weaker
epic
members
rap
their
battles of
species.
history.
As a vanguard of the Viltrumite Empire, Omni-Man infiltrated Earth as Nolan Grayson, expected to prepare the planet for Imperial assimilation.
Which should have been easy, since he's got your classic strongman superpowers and he's basically invulnerable, easily knocking around asteroids the size of Texas.
He can fly at unbelievable speeds, soaring from Earth to the planet Thraxa in under 1 week. Thraxa is, quote, a couple galaxies away, give or take, so a minimum of 2 galaxies. Beyond the Milky Way's neighbor Andromeda is the lesser-known Triangulum Galaxy.
The
which is over
Triangulum
2.7
Galaxy,
million
bro.
light years away. Reaching it in under 1 week means Omni-Man must have flown over 142 million times faster than light.
Oh, and Viltrumites can't breathe in space, so he held his breath the whole way. And it's not like he was in a rush. He was on a soul-searching trip, contemplating the significance of smashing his own son's face in. Think, Nolan, think.
Yeah, this is why I'm never having kids.
You're missing out. But according to another
the
Viltrumite,
shit out of his
Venus,
son.
a bunch of other Viltrumites who actually were in a hurry flew to Viltrum across the Virgo supercluster in less than 24 hours.
That's over 20 billion times faster than light.
You don't really need to rush anyway. The older a Viltrumite gets, the slower they age.
According to the Invincible Handbook, Nolan is over 2,000 years old. And regardless of age, Viltrumites don't suffer muscle fatigue like humans do, so they rarely ever tire out.
Seriously? He's got parenting easy mode on, and he couldn't even handle that. I would have killed for that back when my daughter was born.
Well, you would have to be a Viltrumite first. A Viltrumite's body contains smart atoms, which they subconsciously manipulate. This cellular structure can effectively recall
I
certain
didn't
states
know
of being
half of this shit
regardless
about
of
the
their
show.
present environment, reacting
What?
to changes at an atomic level to perform the impossible.
Yeah, like surviving your intestines getting ripped out, or even more scary, ripping out your whole beard all at once. Ugh, only a Viltrumite could pull off something that disturbing.
Nolan is incredibly tough, but if he faces
He
superior
rips his
forces,
beard off? I thought it was
smart
just like a
atoms can
fake
adjust to make him
beard.
even stronger by comparison. This is why Viltrumites are considered invincible.
Most weapons in the universe can't even
They did the
scratch a
thing.
Viltrumite like
They
him.
did the
Even
thing.
a ship's cannon like this one can't take down a Viltrumite, and it obliterated a massive solar disk nearly half the size of a star.
Speaking of planets, he's strong enough to shatter one by flying straight through it. A planet so big it has a whole ring around it.
The Roche limit factor dictates the size a celestial body must be in order to disperse orbiting material as a ring. In short, an Earth-sized planet can't support such a ring, meaning this one
Nah,
must
no
be
rings.
much
Earth sucks.
And don't get me started on how
Earth
the ring
sucks,
is
bro.
actually
Where's
made
our
up of
rings?
dead bodies because,
Oh, shit.
Spoilers? Just go read the comic.
If Roche isn't doing it for you, this planet also supports 5 moons in its orbit, and even the smallest is a perfect sphere, meaning its own gravity shaped it. At minimum, a moon like that must have a diameter of 600 kilometers, or 370 miles.
Who knows
Comparing
this
To the
shit?
planet's diameter, we can tell this world is nearly 14 times larger than Earth.
Or it was before, you know, kablam.
Now, Omni-Man does have his weaknesses. Monsters like Ragnar's can pierce Viltrumite flesh, and he's extremely sensitive to a specific high-pitch frequency, which can destabilize his body's equilibrium.
But his real weakness
Huh.
turned out to be, you guessed it, fatherhood. Thanks to his son Mark, Nolan began to re-examine his perspective and his place in the universe. He settled down in a new place, got himself a new job, and even had a new kid with his new wife, who's a bug. The bug lady.
fucking.
He banged a bug.
Yeah, that threw me off.
Why, Omni-Man? How, Omni-Man?
Hey, everyone deals with parenting stress in their own way. When Nolan was lecturing to Mark about how insignificant people are, Mark wasn't the only one he was trying to convince, if you catch my drift.
Nolan Grayson's real mission isn't planetary conquest or saving the innocent. It's to discover if a violent man who can break the world can also be a good father.
Godspeed.
I feel like that would be too
Omni-Man.
easy. I did too. Dude, I seen this after
In the
Gene
far
showed it to
reaches
me.
of the cosmos,
I think
laid
it's
a
cool. Like,
world
you learn a lot
people
about the
like no
backstory
other.
of characters.
Born and raised to do just one thing: fight.
The Saiyans, a proud warrior people from the planet Vegeta, ruled by, King Vegeta.
Planet Vegeta, King
Their
Vegeta.
pride blinded them to the truth of their impending doom. But perhaps one Saiyan represented the best of them, even during their waning glory days.
Bardock! He's cool, he's crude, he's got a bad attitude, and if
He's cool, he's crude, he's got a bad attitude. That's how I want you to describe me to people whenever you talk about the stream chat.
Goku.
Oh wow, I never would have guessed.
Right? What a curveball.
So what does that make Turles?
Who?
Ahem. Bardock was a cold-blooded killer, ruthlessly conquering planets in service to the Saiyans' true overseer, Lord Frieza.
They didn't just conquer planets, they wiped out every living thing, leaving Frieza uninhabited rocks to sell away. Bardock was an asshole. Well, until
Who's
he
he
wasn't.
selling these
Bardock's
planets to,
story
by
has
the way?
evolved over the years, with multiple iterations to draw from.
Like, who's
Including
buying
one where
planets?
He's a brilliant scientist.
But only one is considered officially canon. Bardock's demeanor began to shift when he met and eventually married fellow warrior Guinea, and had two sons, Raditz and Kakarot.
No, Bardock didn't go totally soft. He was still a ruthless warrior. You know that iconic red headband of his? It's stained with the blood of his fallen friends. Hardcore.
Bardock could fly, move faster than light, and was
Yeah, he's
naturally
Goku's dad.
adept
You didn't know
using
that?
his ki as an explosive weapon.
AKA shooting
He's like,
lasers from his hands. True to his brutal screw you nature, Bardock's moves are all about overwhelming power. His final spirit cannon is like a ki-powered bazooka. His rebellion hammer punch ignites enemies on contact, and his rebellion spear basically turns him into a supercharged battering ram. The guy has no chill. He will run you over, break your spine, light you on fire, and then move on to the next.
The crude
guy.
pasting on the video was
Day's
fire.
work for a Saiyan.
Marriage didn't change that. While Bardock cared for Guinea, in fact being one of few Saiyans of his time to actually have a romantic partner, he was still no family man. Like most Saiyans, he saw his sons as nothing more than future soldiers.
Bardock was a low-class warrior, so it was unlikely his kids would grow up to be anything more than battlefield fodder.
But they would still possess the Saiyans' power, a transformation that was the key to their
The
planetary
Saiyans power. What's going on, Whistle?
Big Monkey!
Under the light of a full moon, a Saiyan with a tail manifests the Uzaru.
This great ape form increases Bardock's power tenfold, turning him into an unstoppable kaiju. Quick, someone call Yajirobe!
I want to
While
learn to play
some
with the big
Saiyans can
guys
maintain
in the
control
game.
over this berserker form, low-class warriors like Bardock don't receive the same level of training as those of higher birth. Prince Vegeta's control is so
I watched this
precise he
yesterday.
can speak while changing.
Kaiju number 8. When does that come back on,
Well,
Shanky?
it's questionable if he even remembers
Nobody,
everything that
nobody.
happens when he goes full tilt gorilla. The Saiyan strategy is pretty much just monkey see, monkey smash.
Despite being low class, Bardock's power level nearly matched that of King Vegeta, who could destroy multiple planets at once. At about this time, King Vegeta's power level was around 10,000.
Yeah, we know power levels are kinda janky. Nobody can agree on what the number really means.
Outside of his
Yeah, we
fight
don't
with
know.
Gas, Bardock doesn't really show any high-end feats in canon, but we can use power levels to compare him to other characters with similar levels to better understand his potential.
Like when his son fought Prince Vegeta. What's the scouter say about his power level? It's over 8,000. Yeah, the dub changed it to fit Vegeta's lip flaps, but we only cover the cold hard truth, damn it.
According to this movie
Cold,
pamphlet,
hard
Goku's
truth.
power level between his fight with
Ever
Vegeta and
released
his
2025?
trip to Namek was
Goddamn.
10,000. This lines up with that previous reading and puts him on par with Bardock. Goku's training during the trip eventually raised him to 90,000 upon arrival, but this gives us a clear window.
Yeah, early in the trip, he had to dodge a bunch of incoming asteroids and blast his ship away from a star, which is impressive considering the speed involved.
The planet Namek is outside Earth's quadrant of the universe, and it took his ship 6 days to make the journey. Traveling a quarter of the universe's diameter would put the ship over 9.5 trillion times the speed of light.
And Goku would have had to keep up with that kind of speed to do all that other stuff.
Makes sense given far weaker characters could reach the moon in a fraction of a second. should be trivial enough for Bardock.
All this speed and power meant when Bardock
So I'm talking
and
about
his
the
team
original OP
assaulted the
characters.
planet
Let's give it up for
Serial,
Dragon
they
Ball Z.
went, "Cheerio."
Blowing up the moon in 2
Bardock
seconds.
ravaged the planet, annihilating its people,
As-
until he found 2 survivors, a mother and her child. Some may call it weakness, others a moment of clarity, but Bardock was suddenly reminded of his wife and recently born son. He chose to spare the 2, and even pushed himself far past his limits to protect them from his own Frieza Force allies, who taunted that Frieza had dire plans for the Saiyans' future.
This moment changed Bardock, making him more appreciative of his family.
Damn, and that's when the
cautious
granola
of
dude
Frieza.
comes in?
When all the Saiyans were called back to planet Vegeta for mysterious reasons, he had a hunch something was up. So, before his final stand, smashing through hundreds of soldiers before coming face to face with the tyrant, he sent his youngest kid away for protection. A choice that allowed his son to thrive. And hey, that's what good parents do.
A choice that would have
Send
a
his ass
greater
off. That's a good
significance
move
than
as a
Bardock
dad.
could ever imagine.
And then Dildo Dickhead blew them all up and he died. Or did he? Bardock got killed so freaking hard he got blasted back in time.
Actually, he was pulled away by these 2 who miscalculated and misplaced him incorrectly in the time stream.
Blah, 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 non-canon, whatever. He survived. And when he realized what happened, he got so unbelievably pissed off, he went Super Saiyan. What?
All right, this is very much an alternate universe
this real?
scenario, and it is jarring. But think about it. The Super
Dildo
Saiyan form
Dickhead
is
blew him
not
up and he
achieved through
died.
training alone.
That sent me a
It
little bit
requires
too.
dedication, introspection.
Is that a
victory,
fat Saiyan?
Failure, love, and loss.
I didn't even know that
Frieza
could be a
destroyed
thing.
The Saiyans because he feared the possibility of the
Holy
Super
shit.
Saiyan, a Saiyan with power that could rival his own. But perhaps Bardock's transformation was more than simply a what if. He had begun to take the very steps his son later would to achieve the form. Perhaps if Frieza had hesitated, even for a moment, his fear would have manifested before him right then and there.
Damn, pour one out for Bardock, who figured out how to be the truest Saiyan right at the end of it all. I know Kakarot would be proud.
All right, let's fight.
Hey, shout out to everyone
Ah,
who
shit.
believed in us during our recent crowdfunding.
Save the death
And
battle.
joining you
What was
in
going on with
support
that?
is the first ever sponsor for an independent death metal episode, Manscaped.
Manscaped's newest masterpiece is the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra.
Okay,
in
tell me about
forged
it.
Gold.
I'm not even gonna
Talk about a
skip. I'm
fancy
with you.
name.
This special edition trimmer
All
is the
right,
perfect
look at
tool
that.
for the golden era of hair
That looks like it'd be
grooming,
nice
where
to rub your
precision,
balls up
luxury, and
against.
performance meet. There's limited quantities available, so
It's got
you
good
need to
grip
pick one
on
up
it too.
soon.
If you're anything like me, your scruff grows all over the
Oh,
place
look.
way too
Nice little
fast.
thing.
Or maybe you get that itchy scraggle Wiz has.
Yeah.
Wait, why do you need
Either
a?
way, the
You like
Lawnmower
guard it?
5.0 Ultra Gold comes with 2 blades for any occasion, a trimmer and a foil. And look at it, it's so slick.
It's waterproof, of course, and the new
Is
LED
Manscaped
light
for more than
illuminates
just your
even the
balls?
trickiest spots, while adding a touch of elegance.
What's
to
the
your
fight?
routine.
I'm not
Join
gonna
the 10 million
whistle.
men
I'm not gonna
worldwide
whistle. I'm not
who
gonna
trust
ruin
Manscaped for
it.
all their grooming
You're gonna have
needs.
to wait
Get the
to
special
see
edition
after this
Lawnmower
great ad.
5.0 Ultra in forged gold while supplies last.
Get 20% off plus
Are
free
one of those
shipping with
heads
the
for
code
my balls and one of those
DEATHBATTLE
heads-
at Manscaped.com. That's 20% off.
Or is that
plus
just a
free
full head
shipping
trimmer
with the
right
code
there and I'm
DEATHBATTLE
tripping?
at Manscaped.com.
Oh yes, that's a double up.
Thanks to
Okay.
Manscaped for helping our fans and members support.
Like, I
the
don't wanna
channel.
do-
Seriously, show them some love by clicking the link below.
I don't. You know what I mean? I'd have 2.
All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through
I'd have
all
2 different
possibilities.
ones. You know what I mean?
It's time for a death battle.
Oh shit! What the fuck is Omni-Man doing? Remind me. Remind me next week.
Great. Another gross bug planet.
Yeah, Omni-Man don't play that
Planet
shit.
Isn't anyone's to conquer.
Don't underestimate me!
I just pick my controller up, act like I'm playing.
Just like my son, sticking his nose in places he's not ready for.
My sons would kick his ass!
I get why I said another bug planet. He said, fuck your spaceship. You're stuck here, bitch.
Whatever you are, you're an embarrassment.
Wait till you see the real power of a Saiyan.
Not bad modeling though, am I right? They just reused the raw censure again. They just reused it over. Damn, slugged his ass. Oh shit. Ain't no fucking way. He just dick smacked him with his own tail.
No. My sons need me. I won't let you take me from my war.
Same death battle. They stepped the budget up.
Your time is up.
I'm not sure who should win this technically. We'll see though. Don't look like it's gonna be Bardock.
You said Saiyan. Remember it. Fuck.
I mean, they did say this dude Omni-Man can fly through a planet.
Pitting Saiyan against Viltrumite is fascinating. Among the many similarities, 5 specific categories stand out.
Starting with speed.
This dude said
Bardock
Kakashi
is
solos.
much faster, given his power level matched Goku dodging asteroids at 9.5 trillion times light speed, much higher than the Viltrumite's fastest speed. Add on the 50 times multiplier from Super Saiyan, and it's a huge difference.
Right, Bardock clearly has the speed advantage, but strength and durability are another story.
Though it doesn't seem like it at first, Bardock scales
They did,
to
though.
King Veggie, who wrecked
Well, sometimes I like it.
once,
Sometimes they do the
Omni-Man
8-bit
only spent
animations. It's not bad.
But given how big that one planet was, the numbers are actually pretty similar, until we factor in the Super Saiyan boost, right?
Well, there's a catch. A major plot point in Invincible involves the coalition of planets admitting that their weapons cannot hurt Viltrumites.
So, when their ship's cannon obliterated this gigantic solar disk, it highlighted just how tough the Viltrumites really are.
This disk completely blocked the sunlight and heat between a planet and its star. And this is no ordinary planet. Its size and density are so high that its inhabitants are as strong as Viltrumites just due to living in its natural gravity. To fully block the light to such
Damn.
a planet and remain in consistent orbit, the disk would need to be positioned at its L1 point, the spot that creates an uninterrupted view between sun and satellite, and the disk itself must
That
be about
old
half the
L1
diameter
point
of the
everyone
star
knows
in
about.
question. This means the scale
I know all about the L1 point. What about you, chat? I knew it before they said it. Did
That's
you?
24 zeros.
which makes Omni-Man over 11,000 times stronger than base Bardock.
Not even the Great Ape or Super Saiyan forms could make up that difference. So strength goes to Nolan.
Still, numbers aren't everything. As far as versatility in combat goes, neither had one distinct advantage that could win outright.
Omni-Man survives in space for much longer, but Bardock barely squeaks out the edge here thanks to his ranged versatility with key attacks and, of course, Super Saiyan.
Okay, let's address the Super Saiyan Bardock thing. It's perfectly fair to question whether or not the form should be in this comparison at all.
I don't know, it's
even
not
with the
canon.
form
I don't think they should have
included,
used it.
Nolan still takes this, especially when it comes to our last two categories, experience and stamina.
Yep, Omni-Man's been around a lot longer than Bardock, over 2,000 years, and even with Super Saiyan, Bardock's no master of the form.
And without that mastery, the form drains the user's energies at an increased rate. Which brings us to what may be Omni-Man's most surprising advantage.
Those weird smart atoms.
Saiyans like Bardock can fight for days on end, but only for so long. Bardock possesses a limited pool of ki, which only depletes faster when using super forms like the Great Ape. In contrast, Omni-Man's biology prevents him from tiring in most cases, letting him travel across whole galaxies for weeks non-stop. And his smart atoms adjust to counter whatever physical strain he's subjected to.
Bardock's crazy speed and power made him a real challenge.
But Nolan's strength, experience, and sheer endurance presented an unstoppable.
He smacked him with the tail. I lost my shit, bro.
Would land the killing blow.
When push came to shove, Omni-Man raised the bar. Duck.
The winner is Omni-Man.
Next time on Death Battle.
Oh, how I am not interested.